as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and what an honour to welcome into the studio today Rachel Haynes, who is the editor of The Sur in English. I remember the first edition that came out, and it was like gold. I ran and got it, got my chocolate Palmera, sat in Goya and read The Sur. It was like so exciting. Rachel, welcome to Marbella Now.
Thank you, Nicole.
I feel like it's a
nice
real
to be
coup. My 299th show, and I got the editor of Sur on.
here. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Well, The Sur is an emblematic paper for so many of us. You must be very proud to be involved with it.
Yes.
How did that happen? I mean, how did that come about? Little English girl, I'm assuming?
Yes, yes. No, I've been involved with Sur in English since 1996,
Wow.
actually. So I started off going in to help out when Liz Parry was the editor then. And since then, I've carried on working for them until eventually Liz Parry retired and I took over as editor.
When I saw the other day how it had been like 4 years, is it, since Liz retired? Maybe even more. I couldn't believe it. It's like, where does the time go?
I think it's probably getting on 4 years since she retired, and she was partially retired before that.
It's a major responsibility, and I joked with Liz the other day when we went to the cemetery about how does someone follow Liz's shoes. It must have been quite a challenge, because however long you've worked there, to then take that step up and be in charge of so much, I don't think people appreciate what goes into putting a paper together.
No, it was a real challenge. I mean, I'd been working with Liz for many years, and so I'd had her guidance, and I knew in which direction to go. But then, as you say, once you're responsible for it, and it's very different, and it's a long process, as you say. It's a complicated thing. Lots of people involved, but I had a good example to follow. So,
And on that note, it's a very cutthroat business, press in general, and I find it so charming to see that even though Liz has left the newspaper, that you all still form very much a team, very much there for, I suppose, advice if you need it, on-call suggestions. And I think that's nice, that it shows like the different side of media in a foreign country that has that kind of thing, but particularly maybe just to the Sur.
yes, well, with Sur in English, as I worked with Liz, and now she's involved in the English Cemetery, she's involved in Kuderka, so she actually has professional reasons to get in touch as well, because she sends us the press releases and the information from the cemetery, but she's always there. We're both members of the Costa Press Club, as you are.
Which is where I met you the first time.
Yes,
we were
yes.
sitting next to each other at dinner, and then there was the Christmas quiz. You and I were paired together, and we won. I was just in shock. Obviously, a very smart young lady to carry me through that one. We did well, didn't we?
We did well. I can't remember what the questions were.
But they
now,
were
but we
hard.
did
I mean,
well.
there was like something that, and we actually did quite well. And we won a bottle of wine. Is it Victoria Doñez?
I think so. I think it was the...
I met her at the cemetery, and a woman making her own wines in Malaga. Now, that's a cool story.
It was the sparkling one, wasn't it? The sparkling
It was, so we won a really nice bottle of Malaga wine as well. So it's nice to have that closeness. How involved, how close is Sur in English to the Spanish edition? Are you reliant on them? Do you have to take news from them? Or are you capable of making, like, just deciding what goes in the English paper?
Well, we're part of the team, of the Sur team, which in turn is part of Vocento, which is a nationwide media group with 12 regional papers like Sur, Ideal in Granada, people might have seen that, and papers all over the country. So as part of this group, we all work with a central newsroom in Madrid for the national and the international news, and then in Malaga we have the big Sur newsroom which has the Spanish journalists, the English journalists, the German journalists from Süddeutsch, and until it closed down last year, the Russian paper as well.
I was going to say you had the Russian paper, but obviously COVID has affected everything. I mean, in the press and media, we're lucky because people still need to know what's going on in that sense. But in every other aspect, the last year, I imagine, has been also a challenge for you guys at the paper.
Which is why it's so good to be part of such a big organisation, even though we are separate newspapers. But we have, as you were saying before, we have the big team of Spanish journalists and they write for all the papers. So there are language changes in there, but the Spanish journalists are writing for all the papers in the group. And then we have our own journalists specifically for SUR in English. But with COVID a year ago, it became very important that we're all part of that team, even though we all went home and we all worked from home. We were all prepared technically to work from home because we all work from home sometimes anyway. So that side of things was okay, and we had to get used to doing meetings online, virtual meetings. But we all had our Spanish colleagues and our German colleagues all to fall back on and to carry on working as a team. But the situation now in the newsroom, a lot of us are working there again, but it's different. It's quieter, and it's not as bustling and as noisy as it was.
It's a shame, though, isn't it? Because as human beings, we need contact, and this lack of contact, I think, is kind of rippling into every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
Have you found greater feedback from your readers since the lockdown? More questions, more need for more specific personal information?
We've had quite a lot more contact. We've realised to what extent we are there as a service, providing information and also providing help. We had a lot of people who turned to us asking questions that you probably wouldn't normally ask a newspaper, but they turn to us for advice as well, even if it's not something that we would publish in the newspaper. And a lot of interaction with emails, on Facebook, comments on Facebook. We've been able to gauge what the international community, as you have as well, I imagine, what their concerns were, what they were doing to keep to notice the people who'd left Spain as well, but were still following us from the UK or other countries. So with that contact, we were able to gauge mainly what the feeling was in the international community on the Costa del Sol and beyond.
And dare I even broach the subject of Brexit, because we seem to swing from all Brexit, all COVID, back to Brexit, a lot of unexpected there.
We would have been talking a lot more about Brexit if it hadn't been for COVID.
I mean, it's funny in the news, isn't it? How it's like one thing just disappears because another thing takes over. But the Brexit obviously now is an issue, and many more topics that we weren't expecting, not being able to have bank accounts, customs, import duties, and all this is a completely different story. You're managing to get information on that for your readers. It's a tough one.
I mean, things are coming up, aren't they, as now that I think a lot of people thought that once it had happened, the transition period was over, that then everything would be sorted, everybody would know where they were, and either good or bad, we would just get on with everything, with our lives, being British people here in Spain. But there have been issues coming up all the time since then, so it still is a thing that people need information about, and we need to keep on top of what's going on.
Whenever I hear someone now telling me they can't get their this or their that from the typical English stores, and they're the ones that voted Brexit, and I look at them like, there you go. now you're finding out what it really means.
Yes, I mean there are details like that with imports and exports, and then problems with paperwork, and
the customs are, for me, I think they're understandably angry, and they're showing it. In a sense, it makes sense. If you suddenly say you don't want any part of us, you can't expect them, everything to flow the same. They have to show us that it means something different. So I don't like it, and it's affecting me personally, but I do empathise a little bit with how they must be feeling that we voted to leave the
Yes, it's a
European
new
market.
situation, and some things inevitably have changed. Whether there are things that will be ironed out when further talks take place, or whether if there are things that are causing huge complications in people's lives on all sides, then I'm sure things will be ironed out eventually. But at the moment,
We'll have to see. I just think about myself when I came to Spain. It was just on a whim, and yes, you had to get work permits and this and that, but you didn't really think much else. I imagine similarly when you decided to move over. How was your decision to move over to Spain?
it was 1994. I'd been a student of Spanish. I'd spent some time as a student in Granada a couple of years previously, and so I decided that it was time to come to Spain to
Practice
improve
your
my
Spanish.
Spanish, exactly, for as long as it took.
I kind of did similarly. I come over as if I get a job, give myself a couple of weeks, and there you go. 30 years go by, or 40 years go by, and
it was
without
my
realising.
first step around the world in my mind. It was.
And you didn't get any further
I
than.
didn't get any further.
But your Spanish is good, obviously. You're one of the few. I kind of think those of us who arrived before '96, we tend to speak Spanish, and those who arrived after '96 didn't need to, because by then there was enough English stuff and people going on that we kind of got by without it.
Yeah, and I initially ended up in the city of Malaga, where I still live, and so it was very much in the deep end in the Spanish community. And it's only really since then that I gradually ventured onto the Costa del Sol and realised the advantages as well of having familiar things from Britain as well there.
I find as I get older, I enjoy the English things more. That I didn't miss them at all, except for a nice cup of tea in the old days. And
Well, if you-
Lipton's didn't cut it, not back in the day.
But if you're on an adventure in a new country and you're young, then you're not really bothered about things you left at home. But as the years go by, then you probably do miss.
Yeah. So plans for the Sur coming up, what's going on new in the Sur? A lot of people have adapted. You were one of the first newspapers, even before the Spanish, I think, online with a newspaper. So you're already there in that, online presence. What do you see the visions for the paper coming up with lockdowns and things? Anything changed?
Well, we've got lots of exciting things going on, especially on the website. We've been stepping up activity on the website, if you like, recently, and there are going to be more changes in store in the next few weeks. But what I like to tell people is that the website is a complement to the print edition. It's not meant to be a substitute, because the print edition of Sur in English is still very important to people, and we know that, and it's still working very well. So the website's there as a complement to the print edition, which we're not abandoning and we're not neglecting, because we've got the websites as well. It's still
I
very
think we all
important.
appreciate, not all of us, but a lot of us appreciate having that printed material in our hands, nice cup of coffee. What day does the Sur come out?
Fridays. I think it's very important as well that, because it's a free newspaper, that it's probably doing better in a sense than our sister Spanish paper that people actually have to go and buy from the kiosk. But Sur in English, as you know, is free, so people pick it up.
And where do you distribute?
Hundreds of places.
Supermarkets? I'm just thinking when I pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, there are the traditional news places. If a place has Sur in Spanish and Sur in German, it will have Sur in English. Then the supermarkets, offices, tourist offices, maybe don't have quite so many now because we don't have so many tourists, but I know a lot of residents that do go to their tourist office to pick up Sur in English. We used to distribute to all the hotels as well, but mainly in places where residents.
Yeah, and if in doubt, look online or give them a call and see where you can pick up a copy. Before we finish, I believe that advertising in times of crisis is more important than ever. letting people know who's around, what around. But we often think that newspapers are expensive. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that it's not as expensive as people fear, that it's worth checking it out. Is that
You
correct?
mean to advertise?
Yes.
It's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth
When
checking
people say the
out.
sewer,
I
and
mean,
it's like,
that's-
but I don't think so. I kind of think that when people see actually rates, that it's really not
Well,
what people think.
You have to weigh up where you're advertising, where it's going. We have our audited circulation. You have to look at the content, where your advert will be inside the newspaper, and talk to our amazing commercial team who have lots of different solutions for our clients. And obviously, we're a free newspaper. We need our advertisers.
You certainly do. And we need our SUR. So hopefully we can hashtag better together and we can keep you guys going with lots of good advertisers and lots of good readers. Lovely to see you again, Rachel. Really nice to catch up.
Yes, it is.
And take care.
And you?
I look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully at another Costa Press Club event when we're allowed to get back together.
Well, next time we have a quiz, then we'll have to make sure.
I want you as a
together.
partner. Another bottle of wine. Thank you so much, Rachel Haynes, editor of The Sur in English, no less. We're going now to a break. Message from our sponsors. Remember, Linear Director does extra special policies for us Brexpats with our NIA in the province of Malaga. Certainly worth checking out. And some messages from our Zero Hero partners, and we'll be back after the break, so don't go away.
Sometimes it's nice to just get lost in the moment without a care in the world.
However, if something does come up and you find you're actually lost, it's also nice to know that you can call Linear Director to come and find you. Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 to see how they can better your life too.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a Zero Hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign. And we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
Here at the Gaucho de Lanús.
Let the music get to your heart. Let it set you on your way. No time to hesitate.
Zero Hero, welcome to Portofino, Cabo Pino.
Trouble tearing us apart.
Hi guys, Kazatua is proud to welcome the Zero Heroes. So come on in and enjoy free soft drinks for anyone who is the designated driver. Thank you, Nicole.
Just believe it's worth your time.
Hey, hey.
One, we are at one, we are at one, we are one.
I've been chatting with this lovely lady for a few minutes, but I don't even know your name.
It's Teresa.
Hello, Teresa. Nice to meet you. How did you get involved here? Why do you come down on your Saturday morning, even on a rainy day?
Well, again, Facebook. I mean, people complain about Facebook, but there's a lot of good things happening on there. And I would say it's about 3 years ago now. I went to an event at Andy's Beach in Capopino, and it was raining sideways, but we still got some beach cleaning done. And then Andy was kind enough to give us free coffee because he said we'd cleaned his beach, so we deserved a coffee for nothing. And I believe the same thing's happening here today at Trocadero, where
lovely.
The sponsors, Virginia Macari, who have a beachwear collection, have arranged for us to have free coffees at the Trocadero restaurant. So
Well, that
nice.
really is lovely. It's nice to see the community getting involved. Thank you so much, Teresa. Lovely to chat with you.
And to you.
And I'll probably be seeing you around more often now.
Where are you going next weekend?
Hi.
Hi. So, are you a family?
A family and a friend.
A family and a friend. That's always wonderful. So, what brought you down on this cold, windy morning to the beach?
We're teachers at Swan School and they go to Swan School, so we're part of the kind of beach cleanup effort for the school.
Well, that really is nice. Well, congratulations and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Hopefully it'll be a bit more sunny. Thanks a lot.
Let the feeling into your soul. Let it set you on your way.
And it would seem my lovely Virginia Macari is organised for coffee here at Trocadero. I thought it was closed.
There'll be no trouble. Tearing up.
And here's the star of the show, Joe.
One beating heart. We can change if we try. Just believe it's worth your time.
I liked your post this morning, though. It's raining, but we're still going.
We are at one. We are at one. We are at one. We are.
I do love piano.
The waiter's got his mask.
Okay, so we've resolved the dilemma. It is open here at Trocadero in Rio Real, but for coffee right now, but as of one for food too. Beautiful place and a beautiful face of Joe of Plastic Free Seas Worldwide.
Oh.
And this young lady's just come in from outside, Plastic Free Seas Worldwide, in her shorts. But she's saying why was the reason for being in your shorts better than getting your trousers wet?
Yeah, exactly. And the dye coming out your trousers.
So this week she's come in her shorts. Brave lady. Oh, that looks amazing. Thank you. Joe, it's just so nice to see you again. We've had a nice warming coffee.
We have, yes, warmed up nicely.
And
Nice
you've
to
just
see
heard how much weight of rubbish you've collected.
Just found out that we've collected 80 kilograms today, which is a great effort because it's been a bit wet and rainy outside, so really nice for those hard-working people that came down to help.
So you have been involved with Plastic Free Seas Worldwide for quite a while now.
Yes.
But you started off with your litter pickers when you came over from the UK. Let's just go back a bit.
Yeah, rewind.
So we can see how you've grown.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I've mentioned this story before, but litter pickers was something that I kind of did back in London before I came here. And when I came, I thought, let's start doing it again. Basically, meet up with local people who want to clean up the local area, just around the areas that you live in. And it's hard to get anything started here in Marbella. It's, with all the social media and everything we've got, the place is a little bit behind sometimes. So it's hard to get information clearly across to people. And I think you actually mentioned to me Plastic Free Seas, Nicole, when we met at the Casa Club some years ago. And so I looked into Craig and Plastic Free Seas and his group of people that were doing things, and I went over to a meeting that they had, and we kind of put our heads together, and Craig said, yeah, come on board with us, and why not? It's kicking in the same goal. There's a few organisations here, and we're all kicking in the same goal. But I'm proud to be with Plastic Free Seas Worldwide, because there are a group of dedicated volunteers that turn up month after month after month in particular the EIC school bring lots of children here every month, lots of teenagers, and we've got our regular helpers that come to me. So it was an easy transition for me, and we've just gone from strength to strength. It's gaining real traction, and we're getting recognised for what we're doing now. And with 80 to 100 people coming every month, it's a good turnout. Even on a day like today, the forecast all week has been rain. When we arrived here, it was raining, really heavy. It was grey and miserable. It's brightened up now, but we still had a good 30 people turning out. So
yeah, and I actually saw teachers from Swan School were here as well.
Yep,
and
all
then
of the major
Teresa
schools.
that I had a chance to chat with, and she said that she saw it on Facebook and inspired by meeting people, like-minded people. What's got her involved as well a few years back.
Absolutely, Teresa came forward just as one of those people, like many others that are here. And she, can I give you a hand? Can I help with something? Can I help with something? And turning up month after month, it just made sense to invite her on board and say, hey, come on board and help us out. And so she does, and she's a real organised head. She's a real, very motivated. Nothing's too much trouble. So it's I don't know where we'd be without people like Teresa. Really, we need more Teresas.
And do you? Yes, without a doubt. So obviously anyone can come down, as I did today. How do you survive as the Plastic Free Seas? Do you need finances, or is it really just you need people to show up and clean beaches?
For the moment, we need people to show up and clean beaches. We don't want to let the financial side of running an organisation, a non-profit organisation, get in the way of what we're doing. We will be, at some point soon, requesting donations, but currently we're well supported by companies like Virginia and Macari, who are a swimwear brand that have supported us down on the coast. They've made us lovely t-shirts, really, really good quality jumpers. I'm just going to show you this. Really nice quality jumpers and things, gazebos, the things that we need to do our beach cleans, because we don't need money to make a difference, and that's our message to everyone. None of you need money to make a difference, whether it's outside your house, whether it's at the beach, whether it's one of our days or on your day off, it's all making a difference. So for now, we survive well with just you volunteers turning up every month, and we go up and down the coast to make it easier for some people, who travel further each time to see us. So just look out for us and come along and get involved. Your time is the only support we need, really, for the moment.
That is nice that Virginia is getting the brand awareness, obviously for herself, but by all of you being recognisable with identifiable logos. Obviously it's promoting what you're doing. Absolutely. And helping when you're out there, other people seeing what you're doing and then thinking, oh, I can do that too.
Yeah, well, more than that, let's face it, a lot of people get involved with this sort of thing as a company because they want the publicity and they want to show that they're doing good. That's not the case with Virginia and Macari. What we found is they are here every month. Her and her family are here, helping us, cleaning, and some of the hard workest people on the beach filling their bags. I saw Regis, who kindly organised today's free coffees at Trocadero, dragging his bag along the beach earlier because it was so heavy. He's just here next to me now.
Looking forward to chatting with him. Looks like quite a character.
He is.
Okay, let's give you a sneak preview of the man himself. Don't go away. So that's someone we have to thank for coffee. Thank you, Regis.
So it's more than just brand support and financial. It's actually, they're actually getting stuck in and they bring friends. So that's just the kind of support we want from a sponsor.
You have a young daughter that's grown up here. We've chatted many a time about the trials of teens growing up. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. Now she's a little bit older and pursuing her design career and loving it.
Absolutely.
But this obviously is a good incentive for kids to be involved. I think must have helped her a lot, having these alternative outlets.
Definitely, and I think from a sociable point of view, as socialising point of view, it's great for the teens. We see a lot of teens at the moment because it's really good for their credentials for university applications. So again, a slight side agenda, but who cares? They're here. They're coming with a smile on their face, with energy, in spirit, and they come and they grab a bag and they're out there cleaning and working hard. And it's an early start. It's 10 a.m. we meet, so we're not letting them lie in until 1 p.m. The teens who are coming, whether they're coming for uni credentials or not, they're getting up early and they're making it down. On a rainy day like this, we still had at least 10 teens here today. So kudos to Marbella teens who make it down here, and whether they're doing it or not for an agenda, they're getting that awareness from it, and they're seeing other people who are coming without an agenda. So I think it goes a long way.
Yeah, and then if they have a nice time, they just carry on doing it anyway, even whatever the reasons at the beginning. And let's face it, we all have an agenda.
Yes.
What's your
exactly.
agenda? Where do you see
My
this
agenda,
going?
honestly, is to meet nice, like-minded people. I realise that we're not going to change the world in a day in one beach clean. It is just raising awareness. It's being able to meet nice people. I've met some amazing people through Plastic-Free Seas and just doing this. And Marbella is a hard place to meet people. It's you know, people come and go so quickly, and they move around the world. So it's nice to have a constant stream. And you know, some of the volunteers here, we meet up at the weekends. We do family things and walks. So yeah, it's a real. That's my agenda: is do good on the beach and do good for the world, but also to meet nice people.
Well, you're doing a great job, and I'm really glad I met you because you're a nice person. So
thank you. Same to you, Nicole.
Really grateful for everything you do for our community.
Thank you. Thank you too.
And here we have the EIC gang. Hi, everyone. So you're the teacher here.
We're both teachers.
You're both teachers.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And I hear that you are regular attendees.
We are. I'm the eco team leader, as it were, and you know, often we bring more people, but today only the hardiest made it.
Well, it isn't the prettiest of days. Well done, girls. Really nice to see you
Members of our
here.
sixth form, and we're dead proud of them that they made it.
Well, really proud of all of you. Nice to see you here.
Let the feeling into your soul. Let it set you on your way. No need to hesitate. Time to make a change. There'll be no trouble.
Well, there you go. We've finished the jornada of the morning.
We have. Yeah, we've finished.
Teresa.
It doesn't look
And
very
Joe?
different at first glance, but up close we've taken away loads of plastic. 35 people, rounding up to 82 kilograms. It was 81 point something, which gives us around 2.5 kilos a person. And you can imagine 2.5 kilos of tiny, tiny little plastic fragments. It's pretty good going per person.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Really, really proud of the whole team. As I say, my only commendable thing is getting up to be here to record you. But really proud of all of you.
Thanks, Nicole.
Congratulations. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me once again to know more of what's going on in Marbella Now. I'll be back tomorrow once again on RTV Marbella, and you can watch recordings on our website from RTV Marbella /television/Marbella Now. Also links from my website, nicoleking.es, with links to the programme, my column in the Euro Weekly, and our Zero Hero website with full listings of Zero Hero partners with free drinks for the designated driver. Nos vemos mañana. Hasta entonces. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other.
Change if we try. Just believe it's worth your